Hello, this is Jimmy. I want to apologize in advance for the sound and connection errors found in this episode. I believe Discord was having some problems at the time and made things a bit worse for us overall. Thank you for understanding, and I hope you still enjoy.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Room and Board. Today we have Illogical, Jules, Jimmy, Neptune, and myself, Chalk. Neptune joining us only in the chat for today because at the moment she does not have a mic. So Jimmy will be reading everything she says for us.
Yes.
Nice, very robotic of you.
Uh-huh.
Good.
Thank you. I was on the morning report at my high school. I'm very proud of myself for my skills.
Oh,
Oh,
wow, are
nice.
you going to put on your resume?
Yes, I am.
Neptune
Honestly, I'd put
says
that on my resume.
Neptune
On my
says this
resume, it
homo don't
says,
have a mic. Yo.
yeah. On my
I
resume,
mean-
it will say dropped out of high school, but was on the morning report.
It's better than nothing.
What?
Did you stutter or something on air and you dropped out of shame?
Huh?
This
I
is
didn't-
why you don't do podcasts, because you always stutter and you cut them out. But and you
I
get
Did I stutter?
fuck.
I don't know.
You know.
Off to a rollicking good start already. All right, so what's our first topic?
Neptune said she graduated from high school with a 3.8 GPA.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for that.
Everyone
Aren't
be
you
impressed.
impressive?
Cheerful and energetic.
Oh my god, I got
Once
disconnected
they,
somehow.
bruh. Well, they're cheerful and energetic once they're not glued to their cell phones. You know, they're very outspoken and extroverted, so that just kind of rubbed off on me. And also their sense of humor, which is more from my uncle's side, actually, along with his love for video games and stuff.
That's pretty neat. Is that all?
Is that it?
Yeah, that's all.
Nothing
What
about
else
your
do you want me to do?
brother who has made you a very angry person?
Oh,
Your
right.
brother beat the shit out of you as a child?
No, I
Younger
just
brother.
rather pretend that he doesn't exist because he's a little shit.
All right, that's fair enough.
Oh.
Who wants to go next?
Yeah, sorry to sour the mood a little.
No. I thought it was hilarious. That's the only reason I brought it up.
All right,
Bruh.
yep, who's next?
I'll go next.
All right.
As for me, let's see. Growing up, I only knew my family. I didn't like go out to hang out with anybody or anything. So, like they shaped me like a fucking lot. I got my taste for like old music from my grandpa. My dad made me. I didn't get to spend much time with him, but like the time I did spend, it was really ingrained in me oddly. I like to listen to like rock and stuff, and a lot of older rock, like System of a Down and Linkin Park, because of him.
Oh, yeah.
Crawling in my skin.
Yeah.
Show respect.
I got like video
Rest
games
in peace.
entirely came from him. I even watched him play JRPGs all the time growing up, like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, other stuff. Tales of Symphonia was a big one too. And so, I got like latched onto those, and that's where I got my obsession for video games.
Okay.
My sense of humor definitely comes from my mom for the most part. She laughs really easy. She laughs a lot. She makes a lot of very bad jokes.
Very good.
That I love. Almost everything is a your mom joke with her.
Oh,
Not like a your mama so, but more like a I would be like, hey mom, what's for dinner? She'd be like, your mom. Mom, what are we doing? Why are we not doing this thing today? Because your mom said. Everything was a your mom joke with her.
That sounds horrible.
It was hilarious.
That sounds amazing.
It's one of those things that like it was so unfunny, and she did it enough that it became hilarious because of how unfunny it was.
That's the best.
Yeah. My stepmom's pretty amazing too. I didn't get to spend too much time with her when I was younger, but I learned a lot about tactics in Mario Kart from her. She was one of those types that like intentionally would hang at the back just to throw all the items everybody hated at them.
Oh, one of
Like
those.
she
My
would hang
God.
just so she could get the red shells and the blue shells and piss everyone up front off.
I have a quick question. Are the red shells the ones that track?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And blue shells are the ones that hit.
Imagine getting the triple red shell.
Which was my dad always. My dad was one of those types that never went easy on you when you played games with him because, like, how else are you gonna get better if he's going easy on you? He was one of those types, and honestly, to this, I'm just like him in that aspect. At the same time, I'm not, the best player. So whenever I play with people that are better than me, and I'm always going at my all, and
Neptune says her favorite item is Bullet Bill.
That's why you always kick my ass in Mario Kart.
Yes, I do not know how to play nice.
Bruh.
So do
That's
not
so
play Super Smash Bros. With me.
I've never played a single Super Smash Bros. Game.
Definitely don't play Super Smash Bros. With me. I will destroy you.
I've played Mario Kart like 5 times.
And won all of 3 races, each race being a race where I had a late start.
We all gotta play Smash Brothers together when it comes out.
Definitely, so I can destroy all of you.
Oh, I can't wait to be a Bowser main.
I was a Bowser main for a little while.
Who has a gun? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna be Falco. No, Fox. Yeah, Fox.
I will play as Jigglypuff.
Nice.
Targeting Jules first, then going for Jimmy.
Yeah.
Logical for last.
Whoa.
Huh?
Are you talking about Smash Bros?
Yeah. First I'm going to target Jules, then go for Jimmy, and then illogical.
Haha, joke's on you. I don't know how to play Smash Bros.
Oh, well, good. Then if you're playing as Fox and you don't know how to play, then I'll be fine. I'll go for Jimmy first.
Jules just shoots himself off the ledge with a rocket dash.
I mean, it's been known to happen.
I'll probably main Marth because I'm a fucking weeb.
You are.
Marth is actually one of the top tier characters in almost every game he's in.
Huh?
The only thing you need to know, Marth is a top tier character in almost every game he's in, and the only thing you need to know about him is that he does more damage on the tip of his sword.
Dick joke.
If you hit characters with the tip of his sword, it does more damage, whereas Lucina does the same amount of damage throughout the entire sword. And then Roy does more damage at the base of the sword.
You know, Dark Souls 3 actually has a similar mechanic to that.
Really?
It works with the scythes.
Oh.
And I think the scythes exclusively. If you hit the scythes or a character with a scythe at a certain radius from you, so where the scythe is on the weapon, it does a slight bonus.
Oh, cool.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you play as Marth, illogical, I will beat you as Lucina.
Oh, yay, the Clone Wars.
Yeah. And then I'll beat both of you as Ike.
I'll play
and then I'll kill Steel as Fox. Pew pew!
Ike is the super daddy.
My character is Samus, and not Zero Suit Samus.
Shamu.
Alright, wait.
Anyways.
We need a moment for our mic-free friend.
Neptune.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do Neptunes.
Jimmy, go ahead and do Neptune's thing,
okay.
she said.
Wait, first, more importantly than, like, family or anything, Neptune, who would you play as in Smash Brothers?
Oh, yeah, that's obviously more important than family.
It's more pressing.
Definitely.
More pertinent to the subject.
Neptune is typing.
Ahem isn't a character, you moron.
Yeah, that's...
Ahem main.
That's the Sony...
Ahem
yeah, it's a Sony exclusive to Smash Bros.
Ahem clears his throat.
Samus?
Samus. She said Samus.
Fair enough.
I don't know what I expected.
Power Suit Samus or Zero Suit Samus?
Obviously Zero Suit Samus. You can't see the titties if you don't play a Zero Suit Samus.
Did you see they made them smaller in the new game?
Yeah.
Good.
I don't care because small titties, big booty. That's where it's at.
I think it's fine because she is pretty petite under the armor from what I've seen.
Well,
so
yeah.
I would be kind of annoyed if they changed something like boob size on a character. but
I mean,
it's
I
I'm
wouldn't
fine.
be annoyed if it.
Why do y'all like
didn't
Zero
need
Suit
to,
Samus?
Because
I like
So
Samus
under
the
armored.
character.
If I shoot her with a gun, she'll die.
That's not the point. I like the
and she's
Metro
not
games a
entirely
lot.
human, by the way.
Do you
I'm
guys
so
like
salty
Metroid?
Snake lost his ass.
I have yet to play a Metroid game.
I
My
love
friend's trying to
Metroid.
convince me to play
Samus
it.
is actually like a very good character.
I like Metroidvanias. Like Hollow Knight. You should play Hollow Knight.
Play Hollow Knight. Now on
Hell
the
yeah.
eShop.
Hella Knight.
Recently on the eShop.
It's so
But,
good.
Oh yes,
was
by
it?
the way. Okay. For Neptune's turn.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a quote, by the way. This is not me speaking.
He wrote
yeah.
too. No, Neptune, no.
My mom is a
Stop.
doctor, and I hated my father until he died. They were always supportive of me and all my ambitions, though. My brother is an edgy twat, and my other brother is a pretty cool dude. My sisters are hurricanes on two legs, but I love them anyway. All in all, I love my family, but I hate them too.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Aw.
Fair enough.
Makes
That,
sense.
that matches a lot more with what I hear about most people's families. I'm apparently one of the really weird cases in that, like, for the most part, I get along really well with my entire family.
I do too.
I get along well with my extended family, and my parents are my parents, and I don't have any siblings.
I have
I
yet to
haven't
get in a
met-
serious
I
fight
haven't
with
even
any of my
met most of
siblings
my extended
or
family.
cousins.
What'd you say, Logi?
Illogical's an orphan. She's never met her family.
I see.
Oh
it.
no,
Bruh.
so sad.
No, I'm not. I haven't looked to my extended family.
Why?
Like maybe my first cousins and my
Talk
second
to your
cousin.
abuela.
Neptune says
I
that she
talk
gets
to my
along well with
abuela all
hers
the
too, but
time.
they piss her off sometimes, which I suppose makes sense. I just
Actually,
I don't
actually,
get
I don't talk to my family all that much anymore.
that. Well, if you don't get along with them that much or don't have many similar interests, it's kind of hard to.
For the most part, I only actually see my extended family like once a year because they live like 1,000 miles away from me.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I don't even know the names of most of my extended family.
My family is the type of family that'll see the extended family like 4 times a year, and by extended family, I mean all the way up to my great grandparents on my grandmother's side.
For me, because my mom's side of the family and my dad's side of the family are from different states mainly.
Mm-hmm.
I see like my entire dad's side of the family pretty much every week, but I only see my mom's side of the family like once a year or twice a year maybe.
I haven't seen my dad's side of the family in a really long time, and that's because A, there's a lot of them, like a ridiculous amount, and B, they live in Oklahoma, whereas my mom's side of the family lives in New Hampshire. And
okay.
yeah, more often than not, we end up visiting my mom's side of the family just because they generally are more organized people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I suppose I should probably take my turn this time to talk about how my family has shaped my personality, because I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but I actually never actually responded to any of the topics on the previous podcast.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
I had my suspicions that was the case, but I didn't want to like force the subject.
Or rather, I did bring it up. I think I have answered one question, but I never talked in depth about it.
Yeah,
But
that was the book one, wasn't it?
It was the book one. Around the
I've
World in
heard
80 Days.
Yeah.
Sequels.
What?
Top 10 anime sequels starts now.
Oh, okay.
End of Evangelion. Alright, so I would say that my personality has been shaped by my family. Most of all, probably, I get my very sardonic sense of humor from my dad, just because he was a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if y'all are aware of this, and so he has a very dry sense of humor for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very grim sense of humor, but honestly, my family per se hasn't shaped my personality so much as the places that have been as a result of them. Because, oh, cool, Nep's. For anyone listening, Neptune's dad was a Marine too. But anyway,
Very cool.
I would say that my personality has mostly been shaped by the places that I've lived, because my father, when I was very young, at around the age of 5 or so years old, quit, or was laid off rather, from his job installing satellites or something. I forget exactly what he did. And he decided that he wanted to be a doctor. So, because of that, we ended up moving to a place in the Caribbean, a tiny island in the Caribbean known as Nevis, where he went to school at a place called MUA. I won't bore you with the details, but essentially, as a result of my dad's schooling, I have lived in the Caribbean as well as New Hampshire, Louisiana, Utah, Texas, and currently Indiana. And I would say my personality has mostly been shaped by the people and the experiences I've had in the multiple different places that I've lived.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I chose the name Jules Vagabond for myself, because I tend to be a traveler
That's cool.
of a sort.
I thought you just like vagabond a lot.
Yeah, I vagabond all the time. I vagabond up the stairs, I vagabond down the road.
No, I thought you just like the manga vagabond.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I never actually heard of Vagabond until somebody said, "Did you get your name from Vagabond?" I'm like, no! I'm not
Oh.
a fucking weeb!
Oh, is there an anime
yet
called
here we are.
Vagabond?
Well, there's a manga called Vagabond, and it's not finished.
As
Yeah.
I also
so
haven't
many
finished
are.
it. But actually, the name Jules Vagabond is more of a recent development, as in like the past 2 years, because my previous name that most people online would know me as is Jay Lewin. However, in fact, that's what Mike calls me. He calls me Jay Lewin.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And most of my online friends call me Jay Lewin as well. Or most of my non-Discus online friends call me Jay Lewin, rather. But I originally came up with the name Jules Vagabond because me and Mike found this one Minecraft roleplay server. Yeah, let me... Alright, so basically what me and Mike did is... I mean, actually, we just went in as our normal accounts, which is Jay Lewin, and I think Mike's is like something stupid, like
Mike
Flamewalker
Nikes.
77 or something. I don't know. Oh no, it's Michelson. That's what it is, but it's spelled with a 1
Oh my god.
for no reason too, because you can change it. But anyway, so we messed around on that server for like a month until eventually we got banned. So what we did was we just changed our names and they let us back in. We basically just completely circumvented their ban, and we were on there for a good few months after that, causing trouble on the server and messing with people's, well, ruining children's fun, basically. Because the majority of people on the website were like 13 or 12 or so. Eventually, they got wise to our antics, and they ended up banning us forever. And I think they still have us banned, even though they completely moved the server and everything, which is hilarious to me.
That's amazing.
But yeah, the names that we changed ourselves to were Jules Vagabond, and Wyvern Slayer is actually a much older name from when we used to play Terraria together.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a specific enemy called a Wyvern, and it was really annoying because anytime Mike saw a Wyvern, he'd go out and fight it, even when I specifically told him not to, and he called himself the Wyvern Slayer. I was like, God damn it, Mike.
Nice.
That's amazing. I love it.
Mhm.
Name with history.
Neptune
But
says Neptune says Jules and Wyvern are infamous everywhere. Discord keeps
wait, what did you say,
disconnecting me.
Logi?
Do any of you have names with history too?
Oh god, yeah.
boy.
Oh yeah, I know that you do, Chalk.
Well, yeah, but that's because you've known me for forever. Our listeners have not.
I don't know
Alright,
what
I
your
never
name is.
told you how I found mine.
That is fair. All right. What did you do to get the name illogical, or why did you choose it? I guess that could be our next question.
Oh well, I had a really bad era of the internet that I would rather forget that you
Your
sometimes bring
DeviantArt
up.
era.
Are you talking
No,
about the
I never
bunny?
had the stop it. Well, ever since I remember that era, I decided that it was illogical for me to even think about returning to that era again. So I decided to go with that.
I suppose that's a pretty good way to go with the name.
Makes sense.
For a
Neptune says
while,
that she's been using the alias Neptune for 4 years, like regularly, without changing, just because she likes Neptunia.
Because she just like Junior.
I mean, that's
Goes.
if
That's
you like a name,
dedication.
stick with it.
I mean, I think I've actually used my username Jay Lewin for almost a decade. I mean, I still use Jay Lewin for most of my non discus related activities. Actually, I was named Jay Lewin here until Neptune made me change it on one of her project channels that I should probably get back to, but I don't really want to.
Oh, okay.
Oof.
Oof.
Let's see. Well,
Neptune is talking.
She said you suck.
The presentation
okay. So
sucks with the C with two C's.
with my various usernames that I've used, because the first username I went with, I'm not even going to mention, but the first one I stuck with for a while was called Quoth the Bloodless, and that's based on a book character. I think I mentioned that last episode.
Oh yeah, you talked about that.
I, I still don't know how to pronounce that, even though you just said it a few seconds ago.
It's pronounced Quoth, but I always pronounced it in my head as Kavoth.
Yeah,
But,
same here. Why do authors pick such weird names for their characters?
Because
'Cause
they
they
want
sound
them to be
cool. Why
original,
else?
I guess.
Anyways, I went with that one
Sounding
for a while.
cool is scary.
I was obsessed with that book character because I thought he was like so. And then the next username that really stuck with me was the one that you may hear illogical call me from time to time.
Which is?
Weiss.
That's what Mike calls you.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I was using that username when I met him, but I went by that username for a really long time. And the way I came up with that name was literally it's just the first 3 letters of my last name and the first 2 letters of my first name.
I thought
and
it
the
was like
reason
wheeze.
Well, because
For that sound you make when you laugh too hard.
I always called it Weiss, like with an S sound.
Right.
Weenus.
But like because of the overwhelming amount of people that called it Wheeze instead, I just started calling it that too.
Oh, okay.
There were a lot of coughing puns that weren't funny, but that's whatever. The
They
reason
were
I
a
came up
little funny.
was because I
Hey,
wanted.
imagine how many illogical puns I've heard in my life.
That's
An
fair.
illogical amount.
Neptune thought it was
Stop
pronounced
it.
Wheeze as well,
Jimmy, stop
like
it.
the
Stop
Pokemon.
it, Jimmy. Don't do that ever again.
Would it be
do what?
illogical if I did?
Stop the illogical puns. You're not funny.
Well, you shouldn't have named yourself illogical.
Stop it.
Yeah, you can call yourself Loogie now.
Wait, I just thought about it.
Never.
Anyways, the reason I came up with Weiss was because I wanted to have a username that was mine. Because at that time I was learning about I had learned about my friend's username, who he goes by the Molten King on almost everything, and it's like this unique username that he's used for forever, and it's like never taken anywhere.
The what king?
The Molten King?
Molten, like
Oh,
MOL.
I was thinking Dark Souls.
Yeah, no. I don't think he's even touched a Soulsborne game at all.
You mean, wait, Molten King. Don't you mean Smelter Demon?
Yeah, that.
Oh, God.
But because of him, I wanted to have a username that was mine and that I could, use for everything. But surprisingly, that username is actually taken in a lot of places. And that's where I came up with the username Chalk Pizza.
This username is mine.
Because A, I was literally just like, okay, so there's an MMO I play called Maple Story.
Oh my god.
And I was making a bunch of new characters just so I could steal some names and solidify them and go through like a lot of name brainstorming. And so I would like take a descriptor word or something like that, and then a noun or something like that, and something to that effect, and then I would make a bunch of different names. So I came up with like blueberry pork, frosted book, iced rod, or something like that. I'm not sure. But like the one that stuck out most to me and to my friend who had made his own original name was chalk pizza, because chalk pizza is weird as fuck, and B, because no one would ever use it ever.
Oh yeah.
And so that's why I decided to make that my online.
It's actually really funny that you brought up Maple Story because I played Maple Story for a time. I only ever got to like level 70 though, because I can't grind that game for like a million years to get to the maximum level.
Level cap when you played?
I think it was pretty recently, like within 3 years ago. So I think the level cap was like 250.
Yeah, that's the level cap right now.
Yeah. When I named my characters in Maple Story, I just put together the dumbest fantasy BS I could because everything was taken. So you'd have names like
a lot of taken names.
Yeah, so I came up with dumb names like Salus, which is spelled with a Z. Winston.
Oh, as a quick interjection.
Mesenkyle.
As a quick interjection, Neptune said that before she used Neptune, which has been 4 years now, she went by the goddess of the New World, which is very modest.
Wow. Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm never gonna let you live that one down, Nep.
I wish I had, like, I don't know, the gumption to use something like that.
I've
That's
always
so
wanted to have just a dummy
pretentious.
big
I love
name.
it.
Because her name is
I'm
Kura.
going to use that from now on. Hippity hoppity, your name is now my property.
Oh, because
All
her
right,
name...
good. Well, good luck finding a place where that mess even fits into the bar.
Good God, yeah, it's like impossible to find. Like some of them are just ridiculously short. It's really annoying.
J. Lewin.
I go by Jimmy now, but I've used a lot of usernames.
I can't remember what your username was when you were on Bro Do You Even Anime.
And typing 69.
I can't like.
Neptune said Jimothy.
I know there was a Jimmy Crow on Bro Do You Even Anime, but I can't remember if that was you or if that was Jim.
That was not me. Then
it was.
I have
definitely
used
Jim.
Crow based monikers because of Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
I was obsessed with the crow feather armor.
Oh,
so even my Gmail right now is crow feathers.
Oh.
At Gmail.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. The first alias I ever used was when I was like 12 and I had to make an email address for a website. I can't remember which one. So
Oh god.
So I went with VaderFan360, which was a reference to it was a reference to my deep love of Darth Vader from Star Wars and my deeper love of Xbox 360. So you get
Xbox.
So you get VaderFan360.
Oh god, you just made me remember my first username,
Which was?
which I'm not going to say.
Coward.
Embarrassing.
I actually just remembered. For a really long time, I was attached to. I wanted to make a YouTube channel, and so I was trying to think of what would be a really cool name that would stand out and would get people to click on it just because of the name. And for some reason, I thought Mediocre Animaniac was like perfect for that. Not realizing at the time that Animaniac was a show.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, wasn't that Looney Tunes show that was like dark and gritty and stuff?
No, Animaniacs was the Warner Brothers TV show about these 3 cartoon characters that lived on the Warner Brothers set.
Yeah, with what were their names? Wacko or something?
yeah, Wacko, and I remember Dottie, and I don't remember.
There was like
Oh,
one
they're
with a
those
hat.
cat things.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
little
they were the cat
cats.
things.
Yakko. Is it
Yakko, it was
Yakko?
Yakko.
Yakko, Wacko,
Yeah.
and Dottie?
Yep.
Okay, Neptune corrected me. Or Neptune filled in the
Um,
third slot.
yeah. Not
Oh,
yeah.
wait,
At the
one
time,
second.
I didn't realize that was a thing. Like, I got mediocre Animaniac because I was like a huge fan of anime, but mediocre because I didn't really know much of anything, and I'm always second guessing myself. So I thought mediocre
Oh, okay.
fit it.
I used VaderFan360 for everything, including like my PlayStation network account. But one day I got locked out of it because I don't know why. I guess it was impatience. When I made the account, or when I made
Mhm.
all accounts back then, I just used random or quick answers on the security questions, so I got locked out.
Oh no.
Oh
So
no.
I had to revamp
Oh,
and make a brand new PlayStation account. So
Oh, that's the worst.
so I went with, and this time it was all caps. I don't know why. I guess it was Bowler, and this is the one I still use to this day. I went from VaderFan360 to all caps Mr. VaderFan 3600. I
Whoa.
I evolved
Grew
it.
up.
nice.
I went
He
bigger.
got a bit older.
That's amazing.
Vader fan is evolving.
So that's why my name is still that right now. Like
Should have
Jules,
been
if you
Vader.
look,
It should have been Mr. Vader Fan 720.
it should have. I'll forever hate that username just because I don't even understand the logic that I put behind it.
What, Mr.
It's
Vader
rather
Fan
illogical.
3600?
Yeah, I went by Mister instead of just like Vader fan,
I don't know.
and it
I'm in
wasn't
love
even
with
about
the name.
Xbox 360 anymore. It became 3600.
I mean, I've seen some stupid usernames in my time.
Mike
Oh, yeah.
Nikes.
Mike Nikes. God. Mike actually hates that username.
Yeah, he told me.
Yeah, because he named it Mike and Ike's because he thought that'd be really cute and funny. And then he's like, crap, I can't change it. So he's been stuck with that username for the past 5 years.
Wait, isn't that Candy?
Yes, Mike and Ike's
No.
Candy.
It's actually
Mike
a
and
very
Candy.
popular and little known television sitcom from the 80s.
Oh, really?
No.
Thought it was
I didn't
Candy.
think so.
But it's legit candy, like those weird jelly beans.
I don't know. I taste disgusting.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
same here. Mike and Ike is
Apparently,
pretty shit.
Neptune's very first username was name.
Oh my god, that's
Ooh.
adorable.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna read it because I don't know how comfortable she is with the idea of
Oh my
revealing her name on an internet show.
That brings up a very specific problem I used to have in a lot of school districts where because I moved around a lot, I was never in any school district system.
Oh
so-
my god.
Anytime I ever wanted to use a different school's network or whatever, it just wouldn't work for me. Like whatever
Oh, man.
special programs and stuff they had set up for me just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And of course all the schools had like all kinds of different like materials for learning, like different math programs, different testing programs, so none of my information would get ported over, so I'd basically just be stuck at like I'd basically be behind like a school district.
Oh man,
Oh man.
that's
Whoa,
the
Peppa
worst.
has an Xbox Live account.
Oh boy.
Her username is Behooves36. You can change that username, right?
Turpoops.
Oh
Because she
no.
made it back when she was super into ponies, apparently.
Pony.
Oh my god.
I
I remember
Pretty neat.
all a shitty username.
It
We're
wasn't
coming
a
back to you.
username, but oh no, actually, that was the other thing I incorporated into usernames was
Mm-hmm.
What?
my fondness for this. Oh, I don't even know if you guys will understand this aside from Neptune, but I had a very high fondness for Derpy Hooves, who was the cross-eyed pony from My Little Pony.
That was
So
the
I
retarded
incorporated 96 into a lot of my usernames to match her crossed eyes. So I would just put 96 at the end of all of my usernames.
You are. Oh my god. You are
Yep.
such a jackass. As
Um,
an aside, are there any donkeys in My Little Pony?
Yeah, there is
Or
one.
mules? Is mule
I'm pretty sure there's some. Like
I think
like
there's
in
at least
episode
one.
or something like that.
one mule?
Yeah, I can't remember the
You
name.
need like
Oh yeah,
Cranky
yeah,
Doodle
Cranky
Donkey.
Doodle Donkey.
Says Neptune.
He was like a cranky donkey,
Because
and the fun one, Pinkie Pie, had to like teach him to be fun or something. It's been a while since I saw it.
I forget if it's a mule or a donkey, but one of them is basically the most perfect method of transportation ever designed.
Hmm.
I know a guy. There was a story about a guy who used a mule, which, in case you're not aware, is a
Neptune said
crossbreed
dragons.
between a donkey. What?
Dragons are the best method of travel ever designed.
Nope. Okay, first off, dragons smell. Second off, what happens when you're in the stratosphere, idiot? Oh, you can't breathe? Whoops, shouldn't have ridden a dragon. Oh no, my hips are chafed. Why? Because I'm riding like a freaking retard.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
Jules,
in
hear me-
Aragon that
hear me
was
out
the
here.
thing.
As
There,
angry as you got about that, I have to ask: have you experienced riding a dragon?
he did not enjoy it.
With as angry as you got about that, you would think that he is.
I hate dragons. Something that me and Mike share.
Dragon Slayer.
Actually,
Jules,
I
how
really
do
just
you-
have a hatred for all mythological creatures.
When dragons don't exist.
Neptune said.
Yeah, how about you
if
shut your mouth, illogical?
Neptune said if you didn't want to go to the stratosphere, you shouldn't have fought a giant in Skyrim.
Well, I never fought a giant in Skyrim because
Oh.
I played the patched version.
Oh, that was the funniest part of the game to me, was the glitch with the giants where they would shoot you like thousands of feet into the air.
You know, I actually never died to a giant in Skyrim, I don't think.
I mean, me neither.
Granted. And how would you know?
I've never died in Skyrim. Certainly not by falling off a cliff.
In For Honor, there was a specific glitch where if you were playing as a conqueror and you died, your body would do the exact same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every single time. Actually, no, it only worked if you were executed, but still. It was a well-known glitch for like 3 months until they
That sounds
finally fixed it.
terrifying.
Yeah, it was
Reminds
great.
me of the glitch in Civ that led to Civ making memes of Gandhi.
Oh, yeah, I know about that one.
That's pretty great.
So, you know why that glitch came about, right?
Yeah. Somebody explained it to me. I just
Yeah.
didn't go into it because like I don't know the details well enough to like destroy the topic of trying to put the words together to explain it.
Don't worry. I will destroy the topic for you so that I will look like a fool. Alright, I'm just gonna... It's a quick explanation. Basically, the way that it worked was different countries' rulers had different sort of aggression ratings associated with them.
Mhm.
So basically, what happened was each one had like certain stat ratings, and they were pretty normal, like 11, 10, 9, 7, stuff like that. They decided to set Gandhi's aggression level to, I think it was like 0 or 1 or something, but it ended up, the way that it ended up being interpreted by the game was it ended up being a -1. And because of the way that it worked, it ended up wrapping back around and made his aggression 99
Yeah.
or some absurdly large number.
Like it was max aggression.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think that's been like a thing that they've included in every single Civ game since.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like in every single Civ game since, like Gandhi goes straight nuclear anytime he goes to war.
I love those dumb ascended glitches.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. There was another glitch in For Honor that had some notoriety a little while ago where... What'd you say?
Hmm?
Oh, I thought somebody said something. Anyway.
No, my roommate.
Okay. But there was another notorious glitch where the warden could one-hit kill people.
Really?
very easily. And there is a specific button input that you had to do. And basically what would happen is it would trick the game into thinking that you were falling off a ledge.
Mhm.
And falling off a ledge on top of an enemy does about 2,000 damage to them. So you could one-hit kill an enemy by tricking the game into thinking you were falling off a ledge. It was patched within a week, but that was a spooky week.
I would
Because
imagine.
yeah, you'd see dozens and dozens of like level 1 warden mains or warden users all over the place trying to do the glitch.
Oh
Mhm.
man.
Oh man. There were you cannot imagine the amount of One Punch Man warden memes that came out of that.
I'm sure it was great and glorious.
All right, what next?
I guess we could go with a logical topic of what are some games or your favorite game that you think is underrated or not well enough known.
I swear to God, if she brings up Fire Emblem.
Oh, you know she
Yeah,
will.
she will.
I'm not going to bring up Fire Emblem.
She's gonna
Good.
talk
Fire
about
Emblem
Rune
sells
Factory
like 1
instead.
million copies every time they make another game. That's definitely not underrated.
Oh yeah, it's pretty mainstream these days.
In
Yeah.
Japan, at least. I don't know about the States.
In the States, it's becoming more popular because of Waifu Emblem.
Also,
I
you're
always
lagging
figured
a little
that
bit, so I'm going
What?
to...
What?
Okay, so one of the underrated franchises I wanted to talk about was Rune Factory.
I love Rune Factory.
Oh yeah. I only heard of the name.
I played it
That's
for
it.
all of like 10 minutes, and I thought it was a pretty good game so far. I haven't gotten to the combat stuff yet.
Good game. 1 out of 10.
Logical, are you gonna elaborate on it?
Are you gonna tell us about it?
I hope not.
You kind of disappeared. Oh,
Please don't
so you got
elaborate on it.
disconnected. We'll go to somebody else temporarily.
Jimmy, do you have any?
Oh,
Oh,
she's back. Never mind. You back? Or are you still disconnected?
oh no, she was kicked.
All right. Well, we'll let Jimmy go first then.
Okay. Underrated. Is it underrated or like
Underrated or not as well known as you think it should be?
niche? Okay.
Okay, now I'm back.
Okay.
just- Connected.
Oh yeah, that keeps happening to me. Happening to me. It's happened twice now. It seems like you guys didn't even notice. So I was like,
Your icon didn't appear until you would say something about it.
okay.
So what was I saying? Factory?
You're about to tell us
Well,
about
Rune
Rune Factory.
has like games. Rune Factory
Anyways.
has like 6 games, like 4 for DS. Well, 1 for DS. No wait, 1 for 3DS, and 3 for DS, and 2 for Wii. And I'm kind of sad that they don't get any attention because it was advertised as a Fantasy Harvest Moon for some weird reason.
That's interesting. I always thought Harvest Moon was mildly fantasy-esque on its own, since it had like this harvest goddess that it always incorporated. I guess the difference being is that there's actual combat and magic and stuff in Rune Factory instead.
Yeah. It
That's about it.
it predates Stardew Valley, but Stardew Valley did like the same kind of thing, and
Yeah.
really blew up in comparison.
Well, that's
It's
because
probably-
it's a pixel art game, and B, because it was done. Just a moment. Did Stardew Valley come before or after Starbound? Long after.
After.
Yeah. So yeah, probably possibly because the people that made it were already pretty well known from Starbound, or at least.
Oh, Starbound. That's a good game.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Well, the developer Chucklefish of Starbound did not make Stardew Valley.
Oh, they didn't?
No, Stardew Valley was developed by one guy, and you can
Mhm.
see his user or not username, but his nickname, I guess, or his
Mhm.
developer name, whatever. When the game starts, it says developed by Concerned Ape. It's literally one guy. Chucklefish
really?
did publish the game though, so that's where that
that's cool.
confusion comes from.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so Starbound Money basically paid the guy so he could make the game,
Mm-hmm.
but he
But
did
he
it
only
himself,
played the game
I'm pretty
also.
sure.
That's probably why multiplayer mode took a while for him to get finished. unless he had
Oh
some help.
god.
Yeah, I think they did help with the multiplayer because they know more about that kind of networking and stuff like that. But like the core game itself, I think is just from one guy.
Really?
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is, and it was that successful too.
I've always wanted to, or I've been interested in Stardew Valley, but like I can't really play video games that aren't like really challenging or not challenging in the way that I like.
Oh, okay.
So that's because as you may or may not know, I'm a huge fan of Dark Souls
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of hitting my head against a wall and hoping something happens.
Right.
Fair enough.
To me, as long as I enjoy like playing it for any reason, whether it's the gameplay or the story, I will like it and enjoy it. Neptune said Cuphead.
Cuphead.
I'm terrible at Cuphead. I'm not good at like.
I think I'd be good at it. I'm pretty good at platformers.
Oh my
I
god.
want to play Cuphead once I'm done with Hollow Knight.
I think I'm good at at platformers, and then I play Cuphead, and I feel very humbled.
Make him humble.
It's like my god.
My god. I like Cuphead because based on what I've seen, it actually doesn't look really BS like a lot of these allegedly really difficult 2D platformers that I've seen.
Yeah.
Like, it's so well animated that everything's really telegraphed. The problem is that there's just so much going on the screen that you just can't fight it.
Yeah, I can't get past the flower. By like the third phase of the fight, it has so much like crap on the screen. I can't tell what's happening.
Yeah. I watched the flower fight. A friend of mine had me watch Super Mega play it because he wanted to introduce me to Super Mega.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I noticed that the flower fight in Cuphead looked a lot like the flower fight in Battle Kid. The only reason I know that fight is because I watch Game Grumps, and that's like one of the most famous episodes.
Neptune said Frederick Chopin.
That's not a game.
Frederick Chopin. It's probably one of our musicians.
That you wanted to talk about? Because if not, I have one.
Oh, actually, I would like to add to the obscure games list.
Okay.
It might not be so obscure, but have any of you heard of the game Factorio?
I have not, actually.
I have heard of it, but please continue.
Okay, yes, Ludwig van Beethoven is a very well-known, or rather, a very well-known, not well-known video game.
It's the best RPG.
She
the
said
best
it's like
Minecraft game ever made. Oh, wait a second. No, I think she's talking about I don't know. She does have a mic. Like a dweeb.
What?
Alright. But anyway, so, yeah. Like Nep said, it's kind of like Minecraft in that it's a very, it's a game that's built around crafting. However, the way that the game works is it takes place on a 2D plane, and it's a top-down view.
Okay.
And essentially, what you are is you're an engineer who's stranded on a planet for whatever reason.
Oh.
And essentially what you have to do is you have to go out and you have to mine resources, and you have to build machines in order to mine more resources so that you can build more and more advanced machinery so that eventually you can build a rocket and escape the planet.
That's pretty cool.
When I heard
sorry. Oh, okay. Well, what I was going to say was essentially the game is it's actually not a difficult game once you get because every once in a while aliens will just randomly attack you.
Mm-hmm.
You can turn that off, of course, if you want. But the game itself isn't really that difficult. The gameplay mostly comes from making sure that your resources aren't bottlenecked and trying to find the most efficient methods to assemble your resources. Because in the late game, you can build like trains and send them miles and miles in different directions in order to get to remote outposts. There's these really cool things that you can build called drones and logistics drones, which essentially you can like create blueprints of certain machine designs, and blueprint them somewhere, and the drones will just pop out and put things together for you.
Wow, that's really interesting.
It's a really cool game. It's definitely not for everybody, though. It
Aw.
definitely requires a specific kind of mindset in order to play it.
I'm
Well,
glad that
every
came.
game's
I mean,
like
I'm
that.
glad you
Yeah.
picked that because I think I actually own the game, but I've never played it.
Really?
Yeah, when I saw the title, I imagined it was some kind of, I don't know, like factory puzzle game. Because
Oh.
Factorio sounds like something like that, which I don't
It
enjoy.
does.
But from what you've said,
it's a
it
very
actually
good
does
game.
sound like something I would like. So
You should definitely try it.
You sold me something I already own. That's how good you sold it.
Buy it again. It's I know it's $15 on Steam, and the developers did say they were never going to put it on sale, ever.
Wow,
I mean,
that's
like the money.
dedication.
It's true. They have some. There's some dedicated fans to Factorio too. Like I've seen some absurd builds that people make. Like people build mega factories and stuff, and like these things get so insane that they start to slow down your computer. And it's a very simple game. Like it's 2D. It's all pixel art. But they build these elaborate contraptions that fly off like 60 rockets per minute or something. It's absurd.
Wow,
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's little,
But
or not
yeah.
little, but it's achievements like that in any kind of game where you can set up and build things. I always find that really impressive. Like those people that made a working computer in Minecraft.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those things are
that's
always
awesome.
really neat. I love I love all that dumb stuff that people do. Like the crazy people in Dark Souls that like beat the entire game with the starting equipment and a broken sword.
Yeah, or no sword. That's
Or
just
no sword.
ridiculous.
I saw one video of a guy who beat Pontiff Sullivan using only back parries. So he had his back turned to Pontiff Sullivan.
Oh my
He
god.
was a dragon in his dragon form, and he had the broken straight sword.
Oh my god.
That is ridiculous.
At soul level 1.
Neptune said. Oh wait, first, Neptune said that Subnautica is Bay, and also that
Yeah.
Chuck Norris plays Dark Souls.
Chuck Norris played Dark Souls.
I thought he
Remember
Chuck
Chuck
Norris
Norris
in the sun.
jokes?
I'm
When
gonna go
Chuck-
after Jimmy because I think he may say one of the two that I have in mind. So I'm gonna let him go before me.
Yes.
Norris.
Chuck Norris.
Chunk
Neptune
Norris.
said Chunk Norris.
I remember him from the Goonies.
Chunk
so
Norris.
if Nep or Jimmy have one that they want to say, then they can go ahead and go.
When Chuck Norris plays Dark Souls, he is the final boss.
Aw,
No, the final
stop.
boss fights him.
Norris is such an old meme.
The bosses fight him. Okay. Alright, my pick, and I bet none of you thought of it, is Shin Megami Tensei, the franchise.
Oh yeah, no, I was nowhere near.
Oh, right. Lucy tells me about Shin Megami Tensei a lot.
Yes.
Now, are
Fire
you
Emblem
talking
Fates
Shin
Tokyo
Megami
Mirage
Tensei,
sessions.
Or
It
are you
is-
talking-
Stop it.
Very
Tokyo Mirage was a mistake.
Are you talking any SMT game or the specific?
the core series,
Mm-hmm.
because it is very, very niche compared to the Persona spin-offs.
Blew up a lot.
Yeah. The main series I find a lot more interesting usually as far as the story goes, but the Persona spin-offs, which is like one little branch, somehow grew way bigger than the main
Yeah.
series that it came from. It's
Yeah.
weird to me. I don't know. But I would recommend the series because I find it very interesting. It does a lot of things like unique to it. It's set in a modern futuristic setting compared to most RPGs. Not like a cyberpunk one, but just like, I don't know, like the real
Yeah, it
world
isn't
in the
like
future.
20 minutes into the future.
Yeah,
Is it
basically.
almost like every game based in a post-apocalyptic setting, kind of, or in the apocalypse itself.
I
It
think that's
is-
just not.
It is post-apocalyptic, but it's set I don't know how to explain this.
Like the
It's
start of the
set
games
after
before.
they.
It's like more modern while still being post-apocalyptic. People have cell phones,
Yeah.
stuff like that. There is electricity,
Mhm.
but the main thing I
That's so
find
weird.
interesting about the story is that it's about morality, as in your own versus everyone else's.
Really, I
Yeah,
actually never noticed that.
you
Of course, I've never
basically
played a game for long enough.
right. You basically play as a human, and it's usually right after the world ends, but it could be like years later. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And you, there are humans just caught in the middle, and they're basically completely unimportant. While demons eat people, and angels hate the demons, and you become essentially a messiah of humanity, and you enforce your own sense of morality onto the world itself.
That sounds
That's
cool.
So you're basically a
actually
normal
pretty
guy
epic.
who becomes a god walking around changing the world in his image. You
Like
can
Dark Souls.
yeah, basically.
Sounds like a
You
harem
can
anime
join
done right.
yeah, you can join the angels, and it's not really a good versus bad thing. It's presented as order versus chaos.
Really?
Yeah, the angels
Like Dark Souls.
yeah. The angels represent order, which is like it seems good, but they can be very fascist and brutal if you don't go with rules.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not completely good. And the demons are
Ooh,
chaos. They have a might makes right deal going on.
Ah.
So neither is seen as good or bad completely. Like they both have faults, and they both have good
Yeah.
points. But you can also be neutral and fight everyone. And I think
I
it's
like that
very
option.
interesting.
That sounds. I
sounds like the
honestly
third
have
kind
to
of
play
fate
that
done right.
Now, here's the thing. When was the last Shin Megami Tensei game to come out?
now. I
uh,
think that was 4, wasn't it, for the 3DS?
technically, it was a sort of sequel slash redo of Part 4 called Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse, or Shin Megami Tensei.
Huh.
And it was basically the fourth game, but you play as a different character.
Really?
So the main protagonist of 4 is like important in the story, but you're playing as some normal person.
That's
And you can kind of
crazy.
usurp the protagonist from the normal version of 4 and replace him.
What genre is it?
Definitely just like RPG. I don't know how else to
Oh,
explain it.
It's a very heavy RPG,
Turn-based,
like
turn-based combat.
your Final Fantasies and your Dragon Quests and
Yeah, it's
whatnot.
turn-based combat,
I
but
don't
it's
like turn-based
the
RPGs.
thing that makes it interesting, and I actually like the combat a lot more than the Persona spin-offs, is that it's very lethal turn-based combat. People,
Really?
both
What do
the
you mean?
player and the enemies can die in like seconds of playing.
Oh, I love those.
That's actually pretty intense. Wow.
That's why I like
Yeah.
Darkest Dungeon.
In 4, the first area, you can die in like one lucky attack from enemies.
Damn.
So the beginning of the game is harder than like any other part of the game.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's very
Well,
violent.
fortunately, when you die, you can just start up a new save.
Oh,
People don't die when they are killed.
Unlike in Fire Emblem.
That's only if you use classic mode.
I mean,
Saints Row 4 is Saints Row the Third, but with superpowers. Well, yeah, it's because Saints Row 4 was originally a DLC for Saints Row 3, you poser. I should probably
he's
stop
talking
being mean
about
to
what
Nep.
Neptune said.
yeah, please.
I don't think she minds it, honestly.
She's
Maybe she
immune to
likes it
bullying.
off. So I'll go ahead and go now.
Okay, sorry.
So like I don't mind. Like I actually found that pretty interesting. I definitely want to play those games now.
I recommend it.
All
But,
right.
I have two, and one of them is a lot less known than the other. Because the first one that's actually somewhat well known is Dragon Quest. I feel like it is highly underrated in America, at least. Um, just because, I mean, they almost stopped selling the games over here because of how poorly sales would go for a few generations.
I actually played Dragon Quest like a million years ago on the DSi, and I never beat it.
Was it 9?
I honestly don't remember. I
Was it
remember.
3D or was it 2D?
I think it
Like,
was 2D.
Did it have like 3D models or was it like?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I was like 11 when I played it.
Neptune said
was-
she did too. I
On
owned
the DSi.
probably. I owned
Uh,
exactly one Dragon Quest. It was part 9.
Yeah, 9 is the one that has like
The angels.
poopy 3D models and the angels and stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I remember
whereas
Seth Green
4,
was in
5, and
commercials
6,
for it.
Got remade for the DS and had like really good graphics. They actually look pretty nice because they stuck to 2D art instead of trying to make 3D models.
You know, Dragon Quest is a game that I've actually always heard about, but I've never actually like seen much of it. And it's really strange because I feel like Dragon Quest is kind of like the quintessential JRPG, but it just feels like everybody that I've known that brought it up is like doesn't really elaborate on it because they're like, well, you should already know what Dragon Quest is.
I mean, I can go into it, but I might go into it for a while.
I mean, I interested in Dragon Quest just because I know nothing about it.
I mean, I won't mind talking about it, and I mean, if you want, we can talk about it some other time. If you don't want me to go too in depth into it in the podcast.
Yeah, I feel like we should talk about it another time just so we don't go completely off the
I
rails.
feel like
Yeah,
we
that's
should
fine.
let the ladies talk more.
Nah.
If they want to talk more, they can speak up.
Cleaner.
Jesus.
But
You
okay,
actually.
the other one that I was thinking of is Diagesa, which is the one I thought Jimmy might talk about.
The one with the Batgirl.
Yes, that would be Etna. Disgaea, in my opinion, is a better Fire Emblem. I like it more. 'Cause
Fuck you.
I
Uh-oh.
love grinding in video games.
I'm conflicted here. I want to agree, but I want to be Illogical's friend still.
Fuck you.
I'm
So in
sorry.
other words, he agrees with me, but he doesn't
This
want to
guy
go on.
sucks.
This guy has cowboys.
I mean, yeah.
Fuck you. Cowboys suck
Whoa,
too.
this guy has cowboys?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it has all kinds of classes.
Ooh.
It's crazy.
Ooh.
Like,
You can have cowboys and ninjas and samurai and like zombies on the same army working.
Isn't
What about
there, like,
guns?
zombie maids in the later games too? Like really.
Oh yeah,
cute
the newest
zombie
one has
maids.
zombie
Oh,
maids.
no. Maids,
Really
you've turned me
cute
off of it.
Oh wait, yeah, there are guns. Guns are a type of weapon.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
I'm back,
there's,
baby.
Like
Oh,
the cowboy
also-
class is the class dedicated to guns.
Neptune's brother is blaring a soundboard that can be heard from down the hall.
Luckily, you don't have a microphone.
But yeah,
Sound-
another thing about this guy, Jules, if you don't like the maids, you don't have to use them. Aside from the main cast of like, which will usually be around 6 characters, your army composition is entirely up to you. So you
Oh,
can
yeah.
have like a
like
arm.
you can go through the game with no healers. You can go through the game with no magic users.
Can I just have all burly men?
Yes,
yeah,
actually,
you can have like
Yes.
wrestlers and cowboys.
There's people that fight with fists only. There's people that fight with axes only, or primarily.
I
My
love
favorite
it.
Character, like my favorite fighting style for the game, at least like initially before I want to start grinding, is to take the initial fighter that you get. Like he's your normal typical warrior. His 2 weapons of
Oh,
choice
sorry.
are swords and axes, and his female counterpart uses spears and swords. Axes are honestly my favorite weapon in the game because they hit really hard. They do all of their spells are like one-on-one specials meant for bossing, and they and starting with 2, and I don't know like how far in the series this continues, but starting with 2, most weapons will do some weapons will do various status effects or stat drops when you use them against an enemy, and axe lowers defense.
Really?
And yeah, and so like it's like
Oh,
the weapon
can I interrupt
for
you for a
bossing.
second?
Yeah, sure.
Does it have the weird weapon rock paper scissors like Fire Emblem?
No, it does not.
That was
Oh,
the other
okay.
thing I really liked about it is that the only difference between weapons is that they have various types of specials and attack ranges. Like the drawback for the axe is that it is a bossing weapon. It can only hit one enemy at a time, and it can only hit directly in front of the player. Swords only attack directly in front of the player in the case of normal attacks, but it has all around specials. It has a few one-on-one specials, a few far away specials, and then a few like group attacking enemy specials, attacking groups of a group of enemies at once specials. Spears, I noticed, spears can attack within 2 spaces of you rather than just one.
That makes sense.
And all of the spear abilities move the spear user. Um, yeah, all of their specials move the user from one spot on the map to a different spot on the map. Fists move the opponent typically, and they are typically one-on-one attacks, but they have some like hit multiple enemy attacks as well. And they're usually pretty strong, but they also cost a lot of mana, which is not something fist users have a lot of.
Why does
Bows,
punching someone take up mana?
all of their
Special
specials do
moves.
because they
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, you have basic attacks, and then you
like
also
you
have
wouldn't
special
expect a
moves.
monk to have a lot of MP, that type of thing.
Gotcha.
Bows, their specials obviously attack far away. They can attack within like 4, 5, or 6 spaces. I'm not entirely sure on what their limit is. But they can attack anywhere within that area. And their specials, as of 2, and I think on, I've only played 1 and 2, so you're gonna hear me say that a lot.
Gotcha.
Do status effects to enemies. They paralyze them, poison them, put them to sleep, depending on what special you're using. I'm trying to think what else there is. Guns, they draw from your accuracy stat instead of your attack stat, which makes a lot of sense when you think about the fact that it's a gun.
Gun.
They can attack
Gun.
way further than bows can, but they can only attack in straight lines.
Yeah, bows can do like arc shots, and guns have to be in a direct line of fire.
At least as of 2. In the first one, guns are pretty broken because they can shoot further than bows, and they can shoot anywhere instead of just in front of you. Somebody mute illogical before she does what Neptune told her to do.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, she's a bomb ready to go.
Yeah, you gotta do, or Jimmy, you gotta do it.
Oh, I gotta do it.
Yep.
Yeah, you're her friend. It's your job. Your
Oh,
responsibility.
man.
I mean, it won't matter because we're not recording.
Yeah, we are.
I love to jack off to platelets.
Damn it.
I'm not sure if you're aware of this. Actually, I might have already brought this up, but did you know that the platelets only look as young as they are because platelets only live for 8 days?
Yeah, I think you may have said that, or I heard it somewhere
Yeah.
else. I was like, yeah, that makes sense when I heard it.
So the platelet that you saw in the previous episode is dead.
Already
I
dead.
think that's what.
Neptune said platelets. You plebs.
Platelets, whatever. I can English however
It
I
doesn't
want.
matter. You're not in the voice
Fuck
call,
you,
so
fuck
you can't tell us how to pronounce things.
Pauldrons.
Pauldrons!
Pauldrons.
We need more pauldrons. Level 900.
Pauldrons!
Level 99 pauldrons.
We need to construct additional pylons.
Get
Yes.
with your StarCraft.
Oh, and one
StarCraft is
thing
fun.
introduced, and I think it was a mechanic. Back on this guy again. I'm pretty sure it was a mechanic that was introduced in 3, but was incorporated into the 2 remake.
That's weird.
Was because the 2 remake came out after 3 had already been out.
right, but I don't know. I just think it's weird. All right, well,
Well,
keep going.
okay, so like you have to beat the game first before the mechanic can be implemented.
Oh, okay.
And it's a mechanic where all of the monsters turn into weapons.
Whoa.
Each monster has a specific weapon type it'll turn into. Like I'm pretty sure zombies turn into guns. Prinnies turn into guns. Prinnies are these like cute little penguin things that are kind of the mascot of the game series. I'm trying to think of what else turns into what.
We need to
What-
take a break
which
from
one
Disgaea.
All right, you're
Okay.
fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, but I gotta know one thing. What
All right.
turns into a gun?
Zombies, Prinnies. I'm pretty sure there's more.
Good.
My favorite is probably the Necromata that turn into swords. There's like these cute Neko girls that are like
Oh, I love
probably
them. They're cute.
one of the strongest monsters in the game. They're
They've
really
got
cute.
humongous boobs.
They do have those.
Ugh.
And they're one of the strongest monsters in the game, and they turn into swords.
All right, now we can move on from Disgaea.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the
Also
next
realize
topic?
that you already spent
Where we
the 2
topping?
hours.
I'm sorry. What was that, illogical?
I think we've already been recording for 2 hours.
Have we?
I do not think.
I think it's been about an hour and
It's an hour and
20
9 minutes.
An hour and 9 minutes. There you go.
I mean, I'm still.
So how long is this podcast again?
Whenever.
I'd say we should go for about an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
An hour and a half sounds good to me.
Okay, that sounds good.
I mean, you don't have to stay for the whole time if you don't want to.
Yeah.
You just don't
Oh,
get to
well,
participate in
we
the
will
after
make fun of
podcast
you.
Voice call. Oh,
I
You've
have-
been
we'll
taking
definitely make fun of you.
spotlight. You three have been taking the spotlight.
Well,
Well,
I'm sorry.
talk more.
yeah.
How the fuck am I supposed to talk more when I have no idea what you're both talking about?
Your interests are so narrow.
Yeah.
Fuck you, I haven't played anything. You know, I barely touched the game before Fire Emblem anyway.
Do you know
Have
how
you-
long I've been nagging you to play Disgaea?
Have you never played like any game besides Fire Emblem?
Fire Emblem's
Gaia-
all you need.
Fire Emblem and Rune Factory, apparently.
But Fire Emblem doesn't even have guns.
Logie, you
Yeah,
gotta
it's
be more
so
aggressive.
lame.
Talk.
No.
So aggressive in DMs and comes to voice call.
All right, well, time for me to bring up my super amazing topic that I thought of.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Who is the best fictional dad?
Oh
Oh, yeah, I
yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's Show Tucker.
Okay, so you guys.
Well,
gonna hate
you've
me for
lost.
this 'cause
Who?
It's
Shao Tucker, the guy that turned his kid into a dog hybrid.
Huh?
Oh
Fullmetal
god, you haven't
Alchemist.
seen. Well, now he knows.
Oh.
I was hoping to just forget about this and then discreetly bring up Full Metal Alchemist, and then I'll realize. But no, you just had to spoil it, didn't you?
Whoops. You guys are gonna hate me for this because it goes right back to Disgaea, but the dad
Oh, boy.
from the first
Oh,
game, I
God.
can't remember what his name is, but this dad like fakes his own death. Wait, this is spoiler territory.
I'm never gonna play this guy.
All right, fair enough. Skip past this part if you plan on playing Disgaea, audience. Jimmy can put up a little image of when I stop talking about it. For those
Right.
who are YouTube.
Alright, I've got you timestamped 112.
Sweet.
Time to mute, because I planned on buying Disgaea eventually.
I mean, Disgaea 1 Complete comes out for the Switch on October 9th, so you can get it then.
How much is it? If it's $60, I'm not getting it.
It's probably not $60 since it's a remake of an old game that's been remade about 8 times already.
Sega with their Yakuza remakes is like, actually, it can be $60.
Mm.
Oh my god.
Boys, give me one with a beat.
Anyways, the dad from Disgaea 1. Okay, spoilers, yeah. He fakes his own death and then makes his son fight for the throne because he's the king of the Netherworld. and so he fakes his own death to make his son fight for the throne because his son is obsessed with this idea of demons are evil, demons hate love, blah blah, and
Well,
he
demons
only
are
became
evil.
like that after his mother died because she gave her life to save her sons. And so her son was like, well, if that's love and I can't have my mom anymore, then what good is love? And so his dad, the king of the netherworld, plotted with the ruler of the angels to make this huge complicated plot where a young angel from the angel kingdom would meet Laharl, the prince, who is also the main character of the first game, and teach him to love again. And so the father does this, and he becomes a mid boss. Well, they nickname him mid boss, but he's like a boss at the end of 4 or 5 different chapters, and it's hilarious because they treat him like crap, and they make fun of him all the time, and he acts genuinely offended and all this and whatnot. And then at the end of the game, in one of the endings, well, in several of the endings, he explains everything that has been going on except for his involvement. And the fact that he is his dad is only implied, but it's implied very heavily because you can, and in one of the endings, I think it's a good ending, you can see the ghost of Laharl's mom walking off with this guy. You guys can tell illogical that I'm done talking.
Yeah, he's done. Loogie.
Logo.
That sounds incredibly That sounds exactly like a JRPG plot.
Good job.
Okay.
That's honestly the big reason I can never get into JRPGs. It's just because there's just so much.
Okay, in defense of everything you just heard, the story is gradual in Disgaea. It starts out simply, and it's not that it's extremely complicated, it just reveals more depth as you play.
I mean, I was paying attention, but
Right. I mean, it doesn't
so
unload
much.
on you like crazy like that description was.
It starts out really normal and simple, and then builds to.
It's kind of like Homestuck.
Builds to various reveals. No.
I
No,
actually,
Jimmy, Homestuck was full of mystery from the get-go.
I like Dark Souls because the actual story is very simple. It's just figuring it out that's a pain in the ass.
Oh, yes.
That's kind of what it is in this guy as well. Especially 2. I don't know about any of the other games, but it's especially like that in 2. In 1 and 2, the story is very simple and straightforward.
Oh my god.
You just learn more stuff about as you go on. This guy 1 starts out, all right, Prince wants to become king. That's the story.
Prince be king.
This guy 2 is, all right, this guy wants to beat the over into demon. That's the story. And it just kind of builds on it from there instead of, from the get-go trying to have this complicated plot of where to unravel mysteries as you go. Instead, it's oh, hey, this makes things seem like there might be more to than what the eye can see, but we don't really care because all Disgaea characters that I've seen are really flippant about the details. They don't give a fuck. They just want to do what they want to do and get it done.
This guy.
Oh yeah, so I was paying attention, Chalk.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite fictional dad is Atticus Finch.
Oh.
I know that name from somewhere.
From To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh.
So I have not actually encountered that character because I have not read that book.
All right. Well, I like Atticus Finch because Atticus Finch he's really a very simple character. But I like him because all right, so the book takes place from the perspective of Scout, who's this little girl growing up again in 19 1950s America, I want to say. I don't know. Racism and stuff is still a big deal. You got like lynchings around that
Oh yeah.
time and whatnot. But I really like Atticus Finch because he's this kind of messiah-like voice of reason throughout the entire book. Yeah, 30s.
Neptune
Says.
said it's the 30s. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's this really good voice of reason throughout the story, who really serves well to kind of ground Scout's sort of morality throughout the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. There's just something that I've always loved Atticus Finch because he's a very I don't want to say manly character, but he's a very masculine character in a very paternal way that I can't quite put into words. I really like him.
Like a dad.
Yes, like a dad.
That sounds pretty cool.
I really have always liked Atticus Finch. I don't know why.
Jimmy, I don't recall. Did you say what yours was?
No.
I don't think Neptune has said what hers is.
I was
either.
given advance warning on this topic and I still didn't prepare my answer. I'm trying to think a dad character I really love.
Couldn't put father figure. And just being faggot and say All Might.
I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty sure it says in the world and we're confirmed his dad is dead.
Oh yeah, his dad's the same dad as Jotaro. He just has two families.
Of course.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And every other anime protagonist who doesn't
Everyone
have
is part
dad.
of the JoJo lineage.
Yes, of course. Well,
You get
I
a
mean,
JoJo.
you know.
You get a JoJo. You get a JoJo. Under your
I
tiers,
mean-
you all get JoJo.
Yeah, it's a very Oh, well, actually, no, because the mother was the JoJo.
Jojo.
I'm sorry to ruin your joke with logic.
Sorry about that.
About what?
I make a pun, but it didn't work.
What was your pun?
You said that you ruined the joke with logic, and she said sorry.
Loogie, you ruin everything. It's fine.
Oh.
I'm
All
suing
our
you
audience
for-
needs to know
for
she's a
always
very angry
insulting
person.
me.
What?
I'm suing you for rape for always insulting me. Ree!
So, Jimmy, now that Jules stalled for you, have you figured out what you want to do?
I guess. Okay. I said this as a joke when the topic was first brought up, but I don't know. I'm just gonna say Gendo Ikari.
Gendo Ikari
I
is
think he's not a good person per se.
he's a terrible person.
But he's very interesting.
He is very interesting.
Who is he, and what is he from?
He's from Evangelion.
I don't
Oh.
really want to spoil what his deal is.
I mean, did you say
Yeah.
best
But
dad
he
or
struggled-
favorite dad?
He's my favorite dad that I can think of. Not because
Yeah.
of his morality or anything, or like he's not really a good person per se. But I find him very interesting. He's someone that struggles to be a father.
He's a very well-written character, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But to say any more would be big spoiler territory in Evangelion.
Yeah, he's a
I
really
see.
good source of conflict in the show, and also just like a really good character.
Yeah.
Dad
Watch
or
terrible.
spoilers confirmed.
Watch Evangelion.
What did you say, Loogie?
I haven't finished Evangelion.
Finish it!
I
Or
won't-
actually,
I won't spoil
finish it.
anything, but watch it.
Don't watch the last two episodes.
So, Neptune, you got
Watch
anything to
End
say
of
about
Evangelion.
dads other than Dora?
I won't
Oh yeah,
skip
Neptune's answer was
skip the
Dora.
whole series in the last 2 episodes.
No. Okay, so the last two episodes of Evangelion, they ran out of funding, so literally the last two episodes are animated with reused animation and Sharpies.
Oh, wow.
Ew.
I didn't know that. I thought it was
No.
just like,
No, yeah, they just ran out of money, so it's not. So that's why they made End of Evangelion, place those final two episodes. So End of Evangelion is canon,
Okay.
whereas those final two episodes are.
The last 2 episodes and just watch End of Evangelion.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay, Neptune says she doesn't have a favorite fictional dad.
Well, good job, guys.
Good game.
Good game, great game.
Oh yeah, okay. So this one is a bit of a two-pronged subject.
Oh wait, hold on.
Oh, we're waiting
That
on
might
Nick's
say
answer.
something. Actually, we might have to wrap it up here pretty soon.
Right, gotcha. Let's get this answer.
I mean, I
Yeah.
can save mine for next time. It's a pretty.
All right, that
All
would
right.
be smart. Good opener.
Hey guys, it's Garcia saying you goodbye.
Goodbye, Georgia.
And that's all the news for today. This has been Donald Trump, and I wish you good night.
Does he say that?
Yes,
No,
that's
I
exactly
just
what he
made that
says.
Oh, okay. I was
Donald
just
Trump
wondering.
would never say that.
I know, that's what I was wondering. It
I
could
don't
be
think
something.
Donald Trump has a late night show.
I was just
All
baffled
right.
because I'm like unaware.
Donald Trump does have a late night show.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, I
Running the
think he does.
government is not a comedy. It's
I mean,
but
you know,
Running the government is my favorite comedy. What are you talking about?
yeah, Net, we're stalling here. We're talking about political jokes.
Oh no, not politics. We gotta wrap up the podcast.
I'm politically pretty unaware.
so am
Yeah.
honestly.
I actually consider myself pretty politically
Yes,
aware.
thank you, Neptune, for sending us a meme about politics while you're
Thank
supposed to be
you.
coming up with an answer.
Thank you. This is very. Thank you for sending us this meme that I saw on Reddit 2 hours ago.
She's posted it before, to be fair.
Probably. Well,
Like a while ago.
all right. So I don't like posting multiple. All right. So if I see a meme or something,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like posting it multiple times. I'll do it occasionally,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't like doing it.
I try to do
That
it
too.
only if I'm certain
Okay,
that
guys,
most of the
okay, guys,
people
that's
in the
enough.
area have
We
not
gotta
seen.
end the podcast.
I don't post it multiple times in the same
got-
chat, Neptune.
We gotta
I
end the
definitely-
podcast.
Release us.
There is no release until
Deliver
Neptune gives us
us.
an answer.
We need the answer.
He has to upload the podcast too. Jimmy doesn't deserve this.
Oh God, yeah,
Give us
it's gonna be
answer.
pretty late tonight.
Yeah, rendering.
I mean, this time
Rendering dad.
for the SoundCloud upload, you only got to cut the end in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and the spoiler bit where you talk about Disgaea for
Well, I
2
mean, he doesn't
hours.
have to cut
Oh,
that.
crap. How are we supposed to deal with that in the SoundCloud version?
Ooh,
In the SoundCloud version, we'll just tell him to skip
Yeah,
ahead,
tell
I
them what
guess.
time to skip to.
It's too late now.
Did you mark down what time I stopped saying the spoilers?
What am I supposed to do? Edit in like a warning?
Yeah. Well, no, don't edit in a warning. Just like, okay, so what time is the timestamp that you have that I stopped talking?
112.
Then tell them skip to 1 minute and 12 seconds in the video.
Where am I supposed to tell them that after? If
We
I tell
just
them
said
right
it.
now,
There
it'll
we
have been
go.
too
Oh,
late.
wait.
Yeah.
That is a problem, huh?
They'll figure it out.
They can skip ahead. If I'm done talking, then
I'm gonna have to cut in like
Only
a-
like 3 people are going to play Disgaea anyway.
yeah, like
Yeah,
I
that's
doubt
true.
anyone. We have an audience of like 8 people.
I'm surprised it's even that big.
Ruining many people's game experience.
Darkwave 01 has more views than our podcast does. I just want that to sink in for a minute.
Okay,
Now, to be
Neptune has an
fair,
answer.
We have one video. James
Neptune
Potter.
said James Potter.
James
a
Horrible
Potter.
guy.
man.
He died when his son was an infant. What do you?
He died when his son was an infant, but he did save his life at the Scoblet fire.
The scoblet.
Scrabble.
The scablet
And
of
that's
fire.
Scrabble.
I've only seen the Philosopher's Stone.
Wow.
Wow.
So disappointed in you.
I mean, I would
I
be
have-
disappointed, but I only ever saw the Harry Potter movies, and I only remember the last, like... No, I only remember the first 4.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't remember anything past the 5th movie.
You
I
got half
remember
of like the opening of Hedwig's theme, Logie.
That's That's
That
up
was-
there with, like, Pirates of the Caribbean.
That was some pretty nice ear rape. Thank
Yeah,
you
that
for
was
on
good.
Thank you very much. Oh yeah, I just
Homebrew
want to go
era.
back to our good friend Darkwave01 for a second.
Oh wait,
Okay.
Neptune said John Williams is perfection.
Oh yeah, real perfection there.
Mm-hmm.
Is
He's
he
an
still?
excellent-
Yeah, he's still alive.
Yeah, pretty sure.
I don't know. All my favorite singers keep dropping like flies.
He's a
Fair enough.
composer.
Or, well, songwriters, whatever. But anyway, so, Scotty's, or Darkwave01's video, Hello People of YouTube, has 330 views. Do you want to know why it has that many views?
I'm pretty sure it became a meme at some point.
Okay,
Wait, how many people in the comments are actually none of you in the first podcast?
Well,
I never commented
I did
on
not
anything.
comment on the video. One of my friends commented on.
Yeah.
I remember Jimmy asking about him earlier.
Yeah, like something entertainment
Yeah.
was like the only
It
one
was
that
like
I
Moss-
didn't.
To our boy. Shout
Yeah.
out to our boy Mozit Entertainment.
Mosaic or something, yeah.
Mosic Entertainment.
Mozit, I'm pretty sure.
It'd be a more respectful shout out if we could remember the name. Sorry, biggest
But-
fan.
Alright, so what I was gonna say.
Wait,
Right.
you still recording?
Yeah.
Bruh,
What? We
I
didn't
thought
like.
we already ended the podcast.
Nope,
We're going
not
to
yet.
Say when we end it.
You thought wrong.
I gotta get in my one last bit.
Neptune said
I got
ripcord.
played.
Ripcord. Alright, well,
Yeah.
anyway, what I was gonna say was that the reason that one video has so many views
Mhm.
is because me and Mike play Destiny a lot, and in
Mhm.
Destiny there are these raids.
Mhm.
And in raids, you have to find random groups of people with which to complete them.
Mm-hmm.
So, whenever me and Mike are waiting for people in the raid, or whenever something happens where we're all waiting for something, me and Mike will just go, "Hey, if y'all want something to pass the time, there's a funny YouTube video you should watch." So all 327 of those views are me and Mike finding people online and telling them about this video.
That's great.
That's beautiful.
Uh,
Yes, beauty of friendship.
All right. Well, I think that's all we're gonna have for you guys tonight. This has been Room and Board, and we
room
didn't
and
have
board.
Casper with us tonight. She was somewhere. We don't know
Absent. She's a singer,
And
so
Wyvern
she's very
Clan
busy.
didn't come
Yeah,
either.
she may not be in many episodes because she's actually got a life unlike most of us here.
Ah, that's so sad but true.
So
Also,
yeah.
Wyvern Slayer didn't come either.
He
Wow.
said he might. He said he's gonna come on the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, but he said that last time.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll see you guys next time.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Neptune said adios and be the reason why a stranger gets pregnant tonight.
Yeah. Rape people, kids.
Wow. Wholesome.
Wholesome
Nice,
way to
Nick.
end the episode.